The Proud Faces Podcast.
So sometimes we create something. Because I've had this experience with music, right? And the first thing you do, you send it to your family, you send it to your friends, and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Oh, I've thought
And
about it a
people
lot.
say, okay, it's fine, or they don't react at all, right?
Yeah,
So it's nothing to do with your writing. I think you have everything what it takes to write,
yeah,
but because I don't have enough capacity or enough experience to actually, to say like, because I read a lot of books, but it's nonfiction. Um,
mm,
but my favorite author is probably Haruki Murakami if it comes to
mm,
regular literature.
yeah,
So he's like very different. There's nothing to compare with you, of course, but he has like this idea, metaphysical idea he wants to bring out. At the same
mm-hmm,
time, he has so much attention to details that this atmosphere you cannot
mm-hmm,
forget. So hence you cannot forget about his
mm,
metaphysical idea that he's trying to bring up. For example, if you say I'm walking into the hotel room, I open the door and I'm inside the room. So the
yeah,
Haruki Murakami would say, I'm twisting the doorknob to the left.
mm-hmm,
I'm swing the door. I'm hearing the screech of the
yeah,
door. And I walk in and I see the dust
yeah,
piling up somewhere. So like so much atmosphere, the rays of the
yeah,
sun coming in. I feel and everything. All this atmosphere gives
yeah,
you a different vibe. And probably the one comment from that perspective is like if it would have a little bit more atmosphere about the conversation, but of course they talk about karma, right? That's the main
mm-hmm,
that's the main physical I
yeah,
mean the metaphysical idea. But if it also was a lot of detail, you would probably feel different as well. But I think you should do that. I mean, if it's just for fun for your like
yeah,
soul, I
yeah,
think
absolutely.
it's
You
amazing.
actually, thank you. You actually nailed kind of the writer's block problem there. Well, at least one of the scenarios, the way it goes, is that exactly you is because I wrote before. I worked as a journalist, and when I worked as a journalist,
Right.
it doesn't matter. You just like you're a mercenary. You write text, people edit it. You don't care. You get paid. Especially in Russia, as a student, when I worked as a journalist, it was like sometimes you have to write like bullshit you don't agree with, and then they edit it to the point where you don't recognize your own text. So what do you care? But then when you write for yourself, obviously you want it to be kind of like the way you want it to be, and then you like it or you don't. And if you do, you want to share it with people. But what we don't realize in that moment is that people, they don't look at you as a writer. They look at you as somebody you know, and you give them this text. They're not going to try to kind of like read this and think, oh, is it a good text or not? How does it make me feel?
Yeah.
They're going to try to think, oh, this friend of mine gave me this text because he wants me to like it. What if I don't? And maybe what if I don't like it entirely? So instead of like just absorbing the text and thinking, feeling, do I like it or not, and then giving feedback, they start to kind of overanalyze it. And then because you want feedback, obviously our ego is nowhere, it's still there. And then you want feedback, but they can't give you an honest feedback on your text because
Right.
they don't comment on the text. They comment on you writing it. And then you get feedback that you
Exactly.
didn't kind of expect. And then you're like, oh shit, I must be a terrible writer. I'm not good at this. Fuck this. And that's where
Yeah.
you get stuck.